Alright everyone, in this video I want to talk about what happened with me and dental school. As some of you may know, there was a point in time from 2018 to 2020 where I was en route to dental school. I actually was enrolled in a post-bac pre-med program at Tufts and completed that program with great success and was accepted to dental school at Tufts University School of Dental Medicine here in Boston, but I did not end up going to dental school. Okay, so my dream of growing and expanding beyond JawHacks, beyond just serving as a patient advocate through this YouTube channel, to actually treating patients as a dentist, as an orthodontist, that, as of right now, does not seem like that dream is going to come to pass. And so the question is, why? What happened? What happened with me in dental school? So, like I said, I got into dental school. I was actually admitted to Tufts Dental School as part of a linkage program with my Tufts Postbac Pre-Med program in 2018. I was accepted to both programs at the same time. The dental school acceptance was conditional based on successful completion of the postbac program, which I did. I did really well in it. As well as sufficient score on the DAT, the dental admission test, which I never took, but I was never really worried about that because I do well with academics in general. The test was never a concern of mine. So why didn't I go? Well, cost. I didn't go because of the cost of dental school, and I did a video about that before. I'll drop a link to that video down below. Basically, going to Tufts Dental School was going to cost me $500,000, legit, like dead ass, like $500,000 to become a dentist. And I was going to do that, and my plan for paying was to have the U.S. military pay through a program called HPSP, Health Profession Scholarship Program, which is an awesome opportunity for anyone who wants to go to dental or medical school. Basically, the military pays for the whole thing, regardless of the cost of the program, even if it's an absurd $100,000 a year, like a program like Tufts. And in exchange for each year that the military pays for, you've got to serve a year in the military in the capacity of a dentist or a physician or whatever it may be. So I was banking on the HPSP through the U.S. Army to pay for dental school, and I was working with a recruiter back in 2018 and 2019 who, basically told me I was a shoo-in because of my statistics, my grades and whatnot. I was a shoo-in for the HPSP, which is a very numbers-driven scholarship, right? They basically only care about your DAT score and your GPA. And the fact that you're not a criminal. That scholarship fell through for me, though, because of, and this is the piece that I didn't know about, because of my health history. The U.S. military is super strict about admitting people who have health issues. Okay, and in the years before I had applied for the scholarship, I had had some headache surgeries, and I had seen a lot of doctors trying to cure my chronic migraines, which is how I started this channel anyway, right? This is how I got into jaw hacking in the first place, was because I was on this health journey, trying all this different stuff, throwing everything at the wall, seeing what stuck in terms of trying to cure my headaches. And addressing my sleep-disordered breathing was just another thing that I did to deal with my headaches, or to try to make the headaches better, and it did. Okay, my headaches are much better now than they were when I started all this back in 2016. But my point is that I submitted my health records to the Army, to this thing called MEPS, the Military Entrance Processing Station. It's this health exam that anyone entering the U.S. military from any branch, whether it's the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Coast Guard, they all have to go through MEPS. And I submitted everything. I just took the full honesty approach, right? Because, hey, like, I had been trained as a Buddhist monk for years. I wasn't a Buddhist monk, but I lived with Buddhist monks. And rule number one as a Buddhist is don't lie. don't lie. It's one of the 5 precepts. Do not tell falsehoods. And so I figured, hey, full honesty, this is my health history. Here's all the information. And it ended up biting me in the ass, right? I was disqualified based off my history of headaches. You know, and so then I had to decide, am I going to pay out of pocket to go to dental school, 500 grand after interest, depending on how quickly I pay it back. The interest is what kills you. I mean, it's a $120,000 a year for tuition and living in Boston at Tufts. And then the juice starts immediately as soon as you start school. So you're accumulating interest for the 4 years that you're in school, and then you come out making whatever, you know, low 6 figures, and you start paying it back. But as an early 30-something-year-old, taking out $500,000 to go to dental school, that was a big pill to swallow. And I opted out. You know, I opted out. Am I upset? Do I wish I were in dental school? Yeah. You know, if I were in my 3rd year of dental school now, I think I would feel like I were more on track to fulfilling what I feel is my ultimate purpose, which is, I guess, this, right? Like maybe this is the project that God has chosen for me, is to help people navigate the jaw hacking world. And I hope that I'm doing more good than harm. And if I were actually on track to becoming a dentist, yeah, that'd be great. But to dig myself into such a financial hole, yeah, I'm not so sure. You know, I'm ambivalent about whether or not I should be in dental school right now. Sometimes I'm happy with the choice that I made. Sometimes I'm not happy with the choice that I made. But whenever I'm not happy with the choice that I made, I always remember, look, if you're really that serious about wanting to help people in this capacity, just put more work into JawHacks. You don't need to be a dentist to make some impact in this field. Maybe your impact is not as a technician, as an actual hands-on practitioner who's going to be putting wires on people. Okay, maybe my capacity is more as a patient advocate or as a disseminator of information through this channel. And truthfully, you could make the argument that if I were a dentist, I would not be able to be as open and honest with this channel as I am, right? Because when you enter a field like medicine or dentistry, you become part of a club. And as a member of that club, there's rules about what you can and can't say and do. Now, dentistry is a lot looser than medicine in this capacity. You know, the American Medical Association is locked down in terms of, you know, the ideas, the independent thinking that physicians are allowed to express before they become pariahs. Dentistry is more the Wild West, right? Like, and we see this a lot in jaw hacking too. We see dentists kind of going their own way and pioneering new treatments that aren't always established in, you know, double-blind studies and so on and so forth. Dentistry is way more the Wild West than medicine, but still, you know, as a dentist, I would have had a lot more restrictions as to what I can talk about and how I can talk about it. So there is something liberating about not being a dental student with $500,000 in debt at the risk of being, you know, disbarred or having my license taken away for saying the wrong thing on YouTube. That's an argument, right? So another thing I wanted to say is, I think a lot of my listeners and a lot of the people that I consult with would make great dentists. So I encourage you guys, if you're interested in this stuff, you should become a dentist. Just because I didn't become a dentist yet, maybe someday, just because I didn't become a dentist doesn't mean you can't become a dentist. I was in my early 30s when I was going to go to dental school. That's late. Okay, a lot of you people are in your late teens or early 20s. You got a 10-year advantage on me. Taking out a $500,000 loan as a 21-year-old is a lot better than taking it out as a 31-year-old. You could have that shit all paid off by the time you're my age. And we do need people to go into the field and to become actual dentists who treat people in the right way. Not everyone is going to be a YouTuber. Maybe the YouTuber part is for me and a few other people. Okay, but maybe for some other people, we need more dentists going into this field and being airway focused jaw hacking dentists. So any of my young listeners who have anxiety about what to do with their lives, I would strongly encourage you to consider dental school. The hard sciences are great. They're free of the political bullshit that is so prevalent in our world, at least up to a point. Chemistry is fun. Physics is okay. Biology is really interesting. And then to have that foundation and to develop the skills of going through such a rigorous program as becoming a premed, it's really great. It's a really great form of self-development for the mind. And then, there's going to be a lot of opportunity in this world going forward. These issues aren't going away. They're going to get worse before they get better. There's no doubt about that. And as a 20-something-year-old, an early 20-something-year-old, I would not be concerned about the debt. And a huge tip, if you live in a state that has a state dental school, like Texas or California perhaps, or Connecticut, it's got Yukon, any state that has its own state dental school, you can go to dental school for like $40,000, $50,000 a year. It's only because Massachusetts didn't have a state dental school that I was facing the exorbitant costs of a private dental school. So keep that in mind too. I mean, you could get in and out of dental school for $200,000 if you have a state school, and then make all that back in just a few years. What else do I want to add on this? Some of you might be curious about what I do now for a living. I have another business that I run besides JawHacks. I work as a tax preparer. So I help people file their taxes. And I've actually had a few clients come in through JawHacks, where they come in as a client that I work with on jaw hacking, and then they also become a tax client. But basically, my grandfather and my dad had started a tax prep business called Eid Financial Services. I'll drop a link to that in the description as well. And a couple years ago, my dad got real sick with brain cancer, and he lost some cognitive ability. And instead of having the business just fold up and close up shop, I took it over with him, and we've been running it together since, with me mostly in the captain's seat, and it's been good. I've been making money, which is good. Working with clients one-on-one, real human beings, which is a nice change from JawHacks, which is mostly just digital interaction. Clients come into the office, I sit with them, I work with them on taxes, and it's a job. It is what it is. Taxes are not nearly as interesting as dentistry and orthodontics, but it pays the bills, and it gives me the financial freedom to be able to have a little fun with JawHacks on the side and do things like buy this new Sony camera that I've been filming my new videos on in full frame 4K. So yeah, I'm a tax preparer full-time, JawHacks on the side, and that's it. And that's it. Dental school did not seem to work out for me. It didn't seem to be in the cards. The plan that God seemed to have put in front of me was to take over my dad's business when he got sick. He put a lot of obstacles in front of me when it came to dental school, and he opened up a lot of doors for me when it came to being a tax preparer. He seems to be telling me that if I'm going to work in some capacity in dentistry, it's going to be through my YouTube channel as a patient advocate rather than as a dentist. And I'm trying not to resist that anymore. I'm trying to accept my fate and play the hand that I've been dealt and make the best of it. Sometimes we don't choose our career. Our career chooses us. In this case, dentistry rejected me, and the tax prep business seems to have chosen me. And I surrendered to that after all these years of resisting the past 2 years of kind of fighting it and kind of, wondering, what am I doing with my life? Well, this seems to be it for now, at least for the foreseeable future. All right. Let me know if I missed anything. Been rambling here for a minute, and would be happy to do more personal videos like this, reflections on my life in the future. If you're interested, I don't know how you guys are going to take to this, but let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll check in with y'all again next week. All right, be easy. Peace.